Erno Rossi is the author of White Death, a look at the blizzard of 1977 that struck Ontario and western New York. He talks to us about his book and how the storm affected him and his family.
I was here at this location on Friday, January 28th, 1977, looking out my bay windows there out on the bay. The lake was frozen solid, and out of the southwest I saw a wall of white coming across the lake. Much like a mountain, I thought, of snow coming across the bay. And I've never seen anything like it before. The bay disappeared, and then that wall of white crashed into the windows there and almost smashed them in. It did smash in a lot of windows along the lake and filled those homes up with snow and caused an awful lot of damage that way. The pipes froze and burst and that sort of thing. On the damage went. Well, I had never seen anything like it before in my life, or before or since, and I hope never again, but it caught people unprepared in very unusual circumstances, spread out across the Niagara Peninsula and southern Ontario and western New York. And the high winds even came across Canada and the United States and killed lots of cattle and people that froze to death. 60 below zero wind chills. The snow that fell from the sky wasn't very much, 10, 12 inches. The snow was already here, piled up on the ice, on that lake, and those extremely high winds cleared that 10,000 square miles of snow sitting on that lake off of it and onto us. We acted like giant snow fences along the shores and in Niagara Peninsula and western New York. When I saw it happen, I immediately went to get my kids out of school, and I got them out of school, and you could still do that. Got my wife from work, got us together, and we started to really become concerned, not just for us, but for everyone. There were people that were getting trapped on cars and highways, and you couldn't go anywhere anymore. Rescue crews couldn't arrive, and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face for the first 24 hours. Now that's almost panic state, but I was fortunate to be here and observe it. So you turn on the radios and listen to the radio stations that started to transmit their messages, emergency messages, and that sort of helped, but that frightened a lot of people too.
While many people lost their lives in the blizzard, there was many positives as well.
It restored my faith in human nature because people actually went out of their way pulling people off the street that didn't know where they were going in the storm to stay in their homes. School buses that were stopped in snowdrifts were led into local homes, and the kids stayed there. Kids got trapped in schools in the surrounding townships and even right in the city, and it was amazing how well they behaved under extreme circumstances like this, especially where power failures were starting to happen too. Yeah, it was very positive that way, that snowmobilers were out there just doing wonderful deeds to help people, to feed them. You start to realize that people kind of live out of the corner stores once they get into the city. But in rural areas, they're very self-sufficient, and actually we're coming into communities to help out as snowmobilers to get people to safety or to get them to the hospital or help with delivering children. I wanted people to be able to look inside a blizzard and see what was actually happening. That's why I interviewed over 500 people and took the best stories of them, police, the firemen, doctors, hospitals, on it goes. And even there's something really lightheaded because I wondered how that would affect the birth rate 9 months after the blizzard, where people were trapped all over the place with strangers and whatnot. Bars were thriving with people jammed in there that couldn't leave if they wanted to. And sure enough, here in Niagara, I got the stats, and 9 months after the blizzard of '77, the birth rate jumped 18%. And in western New York, there was quite a jump too in the birth rate. So we know how to stay warm under special circumstances.
To purchase the book, visit whitedeath.com. In Port Colborne for The Source, I'm William Kelly.